Store-bought potato chips have more fat, salt, and even sugar than necessary, and I want to show you how to make them healthier. First, I'm Yumna, aka Feel Good Foodie. I share wholesome, nutritious meals that make your body feel good. I grew up eating pita on its own or toasting it, eating it with lebne or with hummus. When I started seeing packaged pita chips, I was annoyed at all the ingredients used to make them. All you really need is pita, good quality olive oil, and some seasoning. Let me show you how my mom taught me to make the best homemade pita chips. Here's what you'll need. Some good pita, good olive oil. I like to use extra virgin olive oil or just regular olive oil works well. And some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. This is the kind of pita I like to use. It's the traditional Lebanese pita, and it's much thinner than what you'd find at a grocery store. So to get started, we're going to cut it into small triangles. And I like to use a handy dandy pizza cutter to do so. I like to keep both sides of the pita on there just because it's super thin, and I think it just gives you a more sturdy pita chip when you do it this way. If you're using thicker pita, feel free to peel them apart. So at this point, what I do is I just like to make them into cute little triangles like this. And it's okay if some of them separate. Makes it much easier to just use some kitchen shears. You can cut them any size you want. Just make sure that they're pretty even so that they bake evenly and they all look similar. You can actually do 2 at a time. Doesn't have to be perfect. While I love to have fresh pita, I also really like to toast these whenever the pita is starting to get stale. It's a great way to just hide the fact that you've got stale pita, and the kids will eat it up. So we've got a bowl. We're gonna take all this pita that we cut up and throw it in the bowl. For the seasoning, I like to do 1 tablespoon of oil for every loaf of pita. And then salt and pepper really comes down to taste, but what I'm gonna do is get started with 3 tablespoons of oil. And what I found works well is just 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and pepper. And this is also where you can have fun with it. You can throw some paprika in there, some cumin, some coriander. There's a lot of different spices that you can use here that make it taste really good. I'm keeping it super simple today with salt, pepper, and garlic powder, but double the amount of garlic powder. All right, time to give it a good toss. All right, and if you wanted to, you can also just use your hands and get in there and make sure that all the pita is super well coated with the olive oil. I'm just gonna go ahead and taste some. The seasoning is perfect, so this is ready to be after I'm done eating. The seasoning is perfect. Now we're ready to bake it. So I like to line the baking sheet with parchment paper just because it makes it easier to clean up. You can also use some aluminum foil or just, grease a pan if you wanted to. So we'll go ahead and throw this on a baking sheet. And you can use your hands to just separate them out a little bit just to make sure that they are widely dispersed. I don't mind if they're overlapping. You can try to space them out as much as you want, but this works fine for me. And what I do is I just toss it in between baking so that everything still gets pretty well toasted. Time to pop it in the oven. All right, here they are out of the oven. I gave them a toss halfway through. And you can just hear how crunchy they sound, and you can see how golden they look. Make sure to let these cool for at least 5 to 10 minutes before you enjoy them, because what's gonna happen is that cooling process is going to make them more crisp and more sturdy as well. So it's tempting, I know, grab a couple bites, but right after, make sure they're cooled completely. And then you can serve them up with your favorite dip. I'm serving them today with some lebne, which is yogurt cheese, and also some olives on the side. It's such a great combination, and this works really well as a breakfast actually, but it's also a great appetizer or a great snack in the middle of the day. So let's drizzle on some olive oil. And if you have any extras, they store really well for up to 10 days at room temperature. So make sure they're completely cooled, put them in Tupperware, and they're good to go. So now it's time for Video Matt to try this recipe. Give him a nice scoop of the pita with the lebne. I hear the crunch and I see the thumbs up. So he likes the recipe and I'm so glad. And I hope you guys try the recipe and like it as well. Thank you for watching. Check out the video description below for a full written recipe. And be sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more healthy-ish recipes with feel-good ingredients. See you guys next time.